There's another max estimate 7. Oh, no way. Forget about all the other ones. Level 9, wild yak. So when we take this shot, we'll see what's coming over here. So he's stopping there. It's been a long time coming, but we are finally here, and I am absolutely honored to be among the first to welcome you to Sundarpatan, Nepal. As always, a huge thank you to Expansive Worlds for this opportunity to check out the map in early access. We are going to be hunting the heck out of this map over the course of the next several days. You can expect a whole lot of hunting, guides, live streams, but for today, we're going to just be exploring the map, trying to check out all the new species, and we're going to see if we can find anything cool out here. And our first animal here on Nepal is going to be Nilgai. We've got 4 of them drinking down here. Looks like a couple of 2s and a level 4. And that's going to be perfect because we can use the new Grand Hair rifle. I went and stopped back at the lodge and got it. This thing is really, really cool. So we're going to go ahead and aim down sights. We're going to flip up the adjustable sight. And at the range we're at, I think zeroing for 150 should be perfect. So let's see if we can get this in there. Looks like it absolutely smoked him. He went nowhere. That is awesome. So let's go ahead and reload this thing. Really cool animations, but this flip up sight, so what you can do is actually flip it down, or obviously flip it up and adjust your zero. And I love that it actually is making you aim high when you're zeroing for 250. So you do that, you flip up the sight with the exact same button that you put your scope on and off with on other rifles. I love that. We're gonna mess with the range, see how it looks when you don't use the flip up sight versus when you do. And you'll notice I'm carrying the 300 AR without a scope on it. Need I explain more? You guys have said you don't want me to bring a dog when we come to this map, at least for the first tiger encounter, so we're going to be ready when that happens. Our first Nilgai though, man, look at those models. The detail in the fur, nice little horns, the little beard they have, that's so cool. Double-lunged him with that Grand Hair rifle. Look at the size of the heart on that thing. That's massive. So he's 85 score, 94 is diamond, so he's a decent one. They look so cool. For the sake of it, I think we'll go ahead and tax this guy. Hopefully we get a better one. They're going to be one of my favorites for sure. So evidently, they drink 8 to 12. Wouldn't be surprised if we see more of them then. And we'll just continue our exploration that way. We've got our first barasingha. That's a 3? That is going to be insane. 205 to 242 kilo. There's another 3 back there. It's a weird warning call they make. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of them. All level 3s down here. And even the 3s are really solid. I wasn't even looking at the estimates. Might just try to get that guy since he's more out in the open. And we do have the 44 lever action, which should be a decent option for them, especially like down there where we can't see to get him with the Grand Hair. So if he'll turn, and maybe not be right behind that tree, we'll see how good a job it does on them. And it looks like it's going to do halfway decent. So the fact that they look that impressive as a 3, I'm imagining they must go to level 5. The diamonds are going to be huge. But 2 encounters, 2 of my favorite species on the map, that's a 142 silver. They look really cool. That's the red variant? Don't think we saw this one on any VW's live streams. I think the face, the models themselves, the antlers, they look really sweet. So, oh my goodness, diamond is 226, almost 100 higher than that. Probably on the high end, they may get to 240s. I can't wait to see that. That was 213 kilo. That estimate was up to 240 some. I'm curious if there's going to be like a weight estimate above that or not. Just quickly reading this, there should be. This says stags weighing in up to 280 kilo, so I'm guessing big 4s and 5s should be in that range. That's good to see. I didn't like with Emerald Coast, we have more Nilgai, a couple of females out there. Basically all males of any species are the same weight range. That should make for a much more enjoyable playing experience here. So probably, unless there's any males around here, we might just try to get one of these with the Grand Hair again. Looking like all the same fur. which I think is pretty typical. I want to say pretty much all female nilgai are that kind of reddish coloration. So let's do this again. Let's even try it. No flip up sight this time. And was that a fox? What is that? Oh no, it's a woolly hair. Okay, we're gonna have to go and try to get that too, but that was no problem. And actually, our hair is just hopping along. I have the 22H. Can we get that going through there? I'm gonna say yes, considering it just completely disappeared. So that'll be 3 species now. And I am really looking forward to seeing, like, does the gun still function completely the same without the flip up sight? I kind of hope it doesn't. I kind of hope you need this to shoot at 250. And maybe when 0 for 75, no flip up sight makes no difference. But now we get to see the female nilgai model. They look good. The like little beard patch, assuming that's what that is, unless it's just fur. I think the beard patch is lower typically, but it's almost like a blondish color with this one. Brown is the fur variant. Oh, we hit it way high. Now I aimed high, thinking we were 0 for 75 and it was 120 meters away. It might be a good idea to use that flip up sight. We'll take it to Hirschfelden before this video's over. But, new species, 3 out of 10 down, our first woolly hair. This was just a level 1 female. 2 scoring silver, diamond's gonna be 3.28, and they should just be scored on their weight. In fact, this particular trophy rating perfectly matches the weight. So we should be looking for, I guess, a weight estimate up to something like 3.4, 3.5 kilo. Good to know. Pretty unique models too, I think. Like the facial structure, maybe the eyes. They're completely unique from anything we have in the game right now. Oh, here we go. 242 to 280 kilo barasingha just ran out of here. This is going to be the dark red variation. And there was a warning call back here. Not gonna be that one. Not gonna be that one. But I knew they were in the area and just couldn't get eyes on them. Where is that high estimate one? It's a bunch of 3s. He's gotta be right there with them. Oh, there he is. Oh my goodness. That is insane. Just a 4, but he's so much bigger. Up to 204, I think that said. Oh no. This is a horrible spot. All this high grass, that was a tiger. I have no idea what direction that came from. I hear nothing. Like, we were going this way. So in theory, he's gonna want to come from behind us? Oh. Is that it? There it is. A level 6. I'm gonna let it just do its thing here for a minute. Hopefully we can get it. That's crazy. Like, oh, it's gonna flee. I don't know if that second shot hit. Let's switch the scope here. Because it doesn't look like the first one was effective. That was crazy. He was like crouching down in the grass so we couldn't see him. Alright, he's actually moving back this way. I've taken a couple of pot shots at him and just can't ever get a decent hit. 0 to 25% from what I think is just a flesh hit. Looking like he's gonna end up walking it off though. If he can just get up there a little higher, that should do just a bit better. He's still gonna go some distance. I would think that should have dipped into a lung. Maybe it was vertebrae. Either way, it's gonna bring him down, and we're gonna end up being forever away from that high estimate barasingha track. I mean, he ran forever. I think we might get our first look at the new water buffalo, but our first Bengal tiger first hit him almost perfect. Just as he was taking off a little too far forward, and then we actually hit the shoulder blade too high there. I don't think these guys are going to be easy to kill. He would have been a gold, 49.85. 57 is the diamond requirement for them. They just look insane. I have no doubt we're going to find another one, or another one's going to find us by the time we're done here. So I won't worry about taxing that. Man, if that's any indication of what can happen, we were in the wide open. Like, the grass was obviously covering him, but it could be so much worse in terms of being in a bad spot when one attacks. And that was tough. And we've got actually a really nice level 4 black buck coming through, our first new one. No idea why he paused, but we will take that. One of the reasons I brought the 44 lever action was to be able to get those guys. I've got water buffalo tracks down here, but I haven't gotten eyes on them yet. Is this that new variant though? I think it might be. Yeah, a brown variant male. Look at that. 109 gold. Boy, do I need a diamond one of those, or a bunch. Actually got the uneven horns too. I haven't seen that since not long after Black Buck True Horns came out. I'm gonna tax that for sure. If for no other reason, just to get a better up-close look at it. I just said this last week. People have been asking for a brown variant male black buck in the game for forever. It's so cool to see him come to the game, and our first one is a solid one. I'm gonna say that new variant isn't going to be insanely rare. We've got another one, which we can take down with the 44 as well. And I think the water buffalo should be going this direction. And we've got tracks going that way of a potential diesel one, 885 to 1067. And then our black bucks laying right up here. So I think that was the same variant. I'm imagining there's not going to be multiple of that. This is also the brown. A little bit nicer with the even horns. Basically the exact same score. They look great though. I like that they changed the white around the eyes a little bit. They extended it up onto the nose. Man, I'm just going to screenshot that one. We're not going to tax multiple, but I'm so impressed. Even with little things like that. We'll leave it to the water buffalo to find us. We've got a male running around here too, though. I'm going to try to maybe get that. Real quick, we can get a shot in there. And you know what? Just for fun, even though it's not ethical, I'm going to use the grand hair on this. Okay, for what I forgot, it's a single shot. Maybe not my best choice. That was pretty impressive though. It's got an amazing, like the sound of it, the smoke, the animations. How about those water buffalo? They look a million times better. Look at the fur like around the ear. You can see the fur like down the face. That's so well done. So we got, I'm not gonna lie, that thing would be capable at the very least. We're not gonna get into too much about like whether or not the gun should be ethical for class 9. As far as realism goes, it maybe wouldn't make the most sense. It's not a round that should have insane penetration. However, what it's capable of here on the water buffalo so far, it looks like it might be able to do it. God, what an improvement. That is so impressive. I love how they look, and I really think they're tankier. Like the chest and the shoulder muscle, you can really see them. Little detail there on the legs. That is fantastic. I can't wait to see the water buffalo we already have in the lodge. And by the way, I just realized, we never got that barasingha. So eventually we're gonna go back, but I'm working my way down to this river area. I'm kind of thinking that's gonna be where the muntjac are. If you recall, that initial teaser had a muntjac feeding in some kind of like almost jungle looking vegetation, which I expect to be down in something like that. So we're gonna go down there now. We're so far away anyway, we might as well, and we'll go back for him later. Now that would be a decent woolly hair, I think. It's 2 to 3 score estimate, and that kind of aligns with what we looked at earlier, and that would probably mean the males are gonna be the ones to look for potential diamonds. See if we can get this right. No problem there. We'll let the female take off for now. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Well, good to know down here by the river's apparently a decent spot for them too. They're everywhere. But I'm gonna guess at least a gold. I think this is a different fur. Dark brown 2.69. That dark brown's nice. Still well shy of the diamond requirement. And we have made it all the way down here to the river. So hopefully we're gonna find some muntjac sooner rather than later. But keep in mind, the muntjac was here in the teaser. So was the tiger that went after it. So I'd imagine we're well into tiger territory. Ooh, that's a nice looking barasingha. That's a 4. Up to 195. God, look at all the different furs and all the variation in the antlers. Whole bunch of 3s in there. Looks like that's gonna be the primary thing we're gonna end up finding. That dark one's really cool looking. I think that, oh, there's a 2 as well. I think that 4 is gonna be our best option. Look at the width of that thing and the fact that that's not even close. Wasn't it 220 something is diamond? They are so cool. All right, that's gonna be about 200. I think if we sneak a little closer, but I don't know, that may well be something. So we're gonna go 44 lever action. We're about 200 meters away, and we're gonna just try to get both of those. Let's see if we can drop this into the vitals. That should be good. And we hit her right as she took off. Did we get anything decent? I don't think we did. That's gonna be tough now. way behind her. We might need another shot. Did we even get the male? We did. Not only did we get him, we dropped him. Look at the antlers. Like the ivory coloration on that. That is sweet. I love the look of that. If I'm not mistaken, they're kind of two different colorations. A little bit different too. You can see the forks are different widths there. Let's see what we're looking at here. This is a 194. So he's solid. And yeah, you can see it. This side is almost like he's rubbed that side more. If that makes any sense. Very similar frames, but you can almost see like where he works that side on trees and stuff. That's really cool. What a cool looking animal. And as far as I can tell, that female didn't go down, and that's still 30 shy of Diamond Plus. I can't wait to see a big one. Okay. I think they had gone somewhere like back across that way. Yeah, they're coming back nervous. There she is there, actually. Okay. If we can just get her to maybe stop, ideally closer would be good. And all these bucks, stags, whatever the right word is, coming back here, they just look amazing. For whatever reason, they're stopping up over there. Maybe they can't cross right there, but that's the one. We just go ahead and line this up with the proper weapon. Let's just cycle through all of them before we get the right one. That's gonna get her. We'll take one more for the road. Looks like as long as we get vitals, the 44 does a great job on them. Deciding on the best loadout for this map is going to be interesting, because between Tiger Defense, needing something for Water Buffalo 2, if you want to have the Grand Hair Rifle, and then have something still to have, you know, some range, I think that's a decent combination. But after all of that, is this even anything special? Honestly, up close it maybe doesn't look it as much. That's just a light brown. I hadn't noticed any like that before. We were just a little low for getting that one in the heart. Second shot got it. I never even looked where we hit that other one. I was too distracted by the antlers. But then this guy went literally nowhere. It does a really solid job on them. We'll have to maybe use it for Nilgai one of these days and just see how it does for those. This guy is a 169 silver though. Pretty much shot all the way through him, that helps. But anyway, I think it's gonna be difficult to get through like all the different species, and all of our first hunts, we always try to get at least one of every species on the map. We keep getting distracted by everything, and I would say that's a very good problem to have. Found one. That is an awesome sound they make. 60 to 80 meters away. That's just gonna creep up over the hill, and I didn't look. They're class 2. So we're gonna have to use the 22H on this. That's a 4? I didn't even think they'd go to 4 for 1. Let's see if we can get a quick shot here. Because he's alarmed. Can we get anything lined up? He's a decently, you know, beefy little deer, so we probably don't want frontal, but... Well, actually, that did a pretty darn good job. There's a female in there, too. Boy, did they ever hide in the grass. They're kind of like tigers in that sense, that one that we had earlier. They can blend in so well. They're so short and, like, low to the ground like that. Even in this stuff that's not that tall, he was tough to see. So that's up to 28 kilo. You can see the little, like, additional tine there. Can we see the tusks? We can. That's so cool. All right, let's see. 33 scoring gold red variant for our first muntjac deer. That's like actually only 2 away from diamond, so he was close. 28 kilo probably is the max weight estimate then. In fact, I'd say almost certainly it is. At least at that range, the 22H is not a bad gun for them at all. That looks pretty decent. Look at the, let's go and inspect this real quick. Such unique pedicles. Compared to like anything else we have in the game, having the tusks, you see like the little, I guess, is brow tine even a word that makes sense there? It's so far up off the brow compared to where it typically would be. That is a cool looking deer. So we'll tax him too, much like we did before, at least to get a closer look at the end of the hunt. I like them. They're going to be tough though, unless they warning call like that. I think most times they're going to be out of there before you see them. Just for the sake of completeness, since we've already shot a water buffalo and black buck, if we want to get one of everything, we might as well get a gray lag given the opportunity. And now, with the old species all accounted for, we have half of the new species, 5 more still to go, mostly up in the north. So I did go ahead and rest back to morning because we have quite a trek ahead of us. getting all the way up there. And I think instead of fast traveling, we are just going to hunt our way up, because who knows what we may encounter and where. Already got another muntjac down there. Ooh, and I think we've learned something. Tigers drink sometime here in the morning, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. So we actually just got the tail end of it. And that's just a level 2 female. I kind of think with the river being between us like this, we'll probably just go for the shot. I'd like to try to get it to come after us, but I feel like we're more likely to just end up with it spooking. So it's about 200 out. With it being more still, maybe we can actually make a good shot on this one. And you can see we're still going with open sights for the most part. Hard shot that one, by the way. And it still didn't insta-kill. It's like moose. That's crazy how tough they are. But after that first encounter where he was hiding in the grass, especially going through what we're hunting right now, I don't want to scope on this thing. If one comes after us, I at least want a chance of seeing it before it gets us. But then first female tiger looks a little lighter than the male that we got earlier. Orange variant, which I think is the same naming. 33 scoring bronze, got her heart and double lung. So the 300 obviously is a great choice as long as the shot is placed correctly, which turns out is much easier to do when you're not either terrified that they're going to attack you or trying to get them on the move. Oh, I hear a tiger. This is the kind of stuff I was worried about finding one in. You can't make out a direction. I'm just going to go stand in the wide open here. And hopefully that helps us. Usually, because it's so eerily quiet, you hear that like snarl. And then you kind of just wait. And see if you can hear that like twig snapping sound as they approach. I heard it. Somewhere. Generally this direction. There he is, a level 7. Looks like another common. Let's just kind of back up here. I really want one to actually come after us. And I'm curious if, you know, like, staring them down this way is worse. Because it may be. God, that's terrifying. And look, he's crouching. He's just going where we can barely see him. Just in case he comes at us here. I'm going to stay ready. I really want to see that full animation. Look at that. Just slowly stalking in like that. It's getting pretty close this time. More so than what we've had before. I'm so afraid, because we know it's going to one-shot us if he comes after us. I think this might be it if he's going to. Oh, look at that. He's still sneaking in a little closer. Turned to flee still. Like, launch himself off that tree. I really wonder if they're more likely to attack you if you can't get eyes on them. Because we know they can tell what direction you're facing. They approach you from behind. That might make sense, because so far, when they kind of notice or whatever that we're looking at them or aiming at them, they have always ended up taking off. That's really interesting. A nice 51 score in gold though. Got that double lung shot as soon as he went to flee. We went ahead and got the shot off. About 250 kilo. Man, I still cannot wait for that first time that one's gonna actually come at us. But we've been lucky in that we've been able to get eyes on them. If we really get attacked in some thick brush, that's gonna be terrifying not knowing where they are. Well, we've officially made it to high enough elevation, as we're spooking our first Tibetan fox, by the way, to where we're getting some blue sheep tracks. I kind of think this should be a decent one. Slate Gray, what a cool name. So it's 65 to 75 kilo. That, I want to say, would be a halfway solid blue sheep. So let's go ahead and get this outpost real quick. And hopefully they're not too terribly far away. You can see we have a lot of elevation to gain yet. We're kind of, I would say, right about the halfway point, just getting up into the mountains. And already we've got some here. Oh, there we go. Our first blue sheep. That one looks huge. That's a 4? They're alarmed, so we're going to have to make this quick. I had 2 different tracks, though, up to 75 kilo, and I heard one take off. We're actually going to aim down sights, then crouch up to try to make this a little quicker. Oh, absolutely flipped him, and there's still another one somewhere that's got to be decent. I've been so excited for these things since we saw just on that YouTube short from Expansive Worlds how big they're going to get. That looks so cool. Oh my goodness. Look at that. what a cool looking sheep. That's that slate gray 139. Look at the width. The fact that that's not a diamond. Diamond is 154. So they're going to get considerably bigger. I think we'll wait on this. I don't know. Nah, we're going to tax it. It don't matter. Looking like we made the right call, because that guy's not quite as big. Probably, though. With the 44, we can still get a vital. And I think that's going to mean there's going to be a pretty good range then. Just in the max weight estimate blue sheep size. There's even still another 55 to 65 kilo one here. But we may let that go for now. Because we're up high enough to find blue sheep. I wouldn't be surprised if we're far enough up to find tahr as well. Between those, snow leopards, yaks, and we still gotta find a Tibetan fox. We spooked that one, but frankly I forget where that was. There's a lot still that we need to get after, so let's see. This guy, man, the fur is so cool. Still looks decent. He's a 125. I'd say that's just like a real solid, he's barely max weight estimate, a real solid blue sheep. But we've seen how impressive they can be. Man, they are one of my favorites already. So let's see. We're already way further south from that outpost where we came from. I guess we'll just kind of keep trying to work north and hopefully run into another fox somewhere. And we do have our first tahr. 117 to 140 kilo level 4 there. Got a 3 beside him. And then, oh, there's a female blue sheep back there actually. I couldn't tell what that was behind the rock, but it's about 170. We'll go 44 lever action once again. We should be able to send this pretty much through both lungs. That's going to be a really effective gun on this map. There's a female tahr, which is what I thought that blue sheep was. Got a level 3 blue sheep coming out of there. There's a fox. We really need to get one of those still, so might kind of pause on collecting our tahr for a second. Finally, it was a mythical. 5 to 6 kilo. I think 6 is going to end up being the max. I was looking at the weight estimate of another one we were tracking. Let's see if we can get a shot on him, and then we'll look at how tiny the weight estimates actually are. Of course, he disappeared immediately. Oh, he's literally right there. I just had that come up. Can we? I don't think there's any obstructions in the way. Probably going to crouch up just to make sure. I think we're clear. I'm going to say, considering there's a whole bunch of blood there, that worked out just fine. So let me pick up this track real quick. There's another one running off right there. That's probably the female. That's even a level 6. Just for fun. I'm gonna take that with a 44 for the inches of respawns. And let's pick up this track real quick. So this estimate is only 3/4 of a kilogram. It's pretty low. The difference between, say, like a really small male and a big one is probably not much more than a kilo or 2. This guy, though, is a 5.85 red. That's a really nice variation. Look at all, like, the dark fur in the tail. You see it down the sides and stuff? 6.37 is diamond, so he's a decent mythical, I would say. Double lung liver, I really think the 22H is a good choice here. So yet again, for closer examination later, we'll tax him. And I love the thought of him he's laying there staring at us like that, knowing we were after him the entire time. Anyway, got that other one laying somewhere right back here, and we still gotta go and get our tahr. So of course, if this would have been a gold, we would have ruined it. Actually, it would have been. That's a red female. I wonder, because they're very similar size to gray fox. And that's 5.32. I wonder if they'll be like gray fox, in that both males and females can make it. 6.37, I want to say, was the old gray fox diamond requirement. It's 6.40 or something now. But that's interesting how similar they are, and the fact that the first female one we saw is decent sized, maybe they'll both be able to get there. Got another red male there too. There's another max weight one. Alright, we're gonna have to get on that. Maybe instead of spending forever trying to stock up to it like we did with the mythical we just killed, might be able to just kind of push him out of the brush and spot him in the distance. Before that, though, our first ever tahr. The fact that these are even in the game now, you see that shaggy fur all the way along. 93 score in gold. Red-brown is that fur variation. I can't wait to see what all is in store for these guys. pretty decent shot there from the 44. Their heart sits way forward. That's going to be good information to know. Obviously, there are going to be quite the number of tahr shot on tahr grinds. If you're going for a broadside heart shot, gotta keep that almost like all the way in front of the shoulder. Diamond's gonna be 101, so not a whole lot bigger than that. I'd say that 140 kilo range also will be max for them. And now let's see if we can figure out where our second 5 to 6 kilo Tibetan fox went. Well, of course, he's gonna run right by us. He's a level 7. I did not mean to get the grand hair rifle, but considering he was nothing special, figure we might as well. Hit him right in the leg and he still ends up with a 100% quick kill. So at the very least, potentially a couple of decent respawns, tracked him for 2.5 kilometers. But anyway, now that we've gotten that, 2 more species remain on Nepal that we haven't seen. Those would be the yak, and of course the most elusive animal in the game, the snow leopard. I can imagine finding them might be quite a task, so we're gonna start to make our way, well, probably towards the snowiest region would kind of make sense. What the heck is a yellow blue sheep? It's a max weight estimate one? So we better go and find it. Those warning calls from tahr are jarring every single time. It's so shrill and sudden, it always gets me. I'm pretty sure we did just spook those blue sheep. Yeah, that's just now. I really wonder what on earth that's gonna look like. I bet it won't be hard to tell when we see it though. That's gotta be him. He's a 4 up to 143, and he sure is yellow. I was really wondering what the heck that was gonna look like, and I'm really curious if that was the other one that ran by. I can't remember if we had spotted 2 max estimate 4s or not. It was so chaotic there trying to get that one that we shot earlier. And I wonder, like, just the basic idea that blue sheep are generally a kind of dark color. I wonder if this is a rare. I could definitely see it being that. That looks so cool. 125.17 score. He's 65.41 kilos, so barely into the max weight range. Definitely going to tax that just in case. And I really hope there's some kind of blue sheep multi-mount, because we'll end up with 2 of them. We taxed that big one we shot earlier. I can't wait to see what else these guys have to offer. But we've seen a decent number of them now, between ones that we've picked up tracks of, 3-kilometer track by the way, all the different tracks we've had disturb edge, all the ones that we spotted run around, and then just up here, trying to find him. Oh, no way. Oh my goodness. I was not ready for that. Okay, just slowly work our way down here. We already know these things have heightened senses. I don't even know how he's still around. Maybe he was moving this direction or something. We'll worry about whether or not that was a rare later. We gotta try to get eyes on this guy. So here's his track. Ooh, that's gotta be a decent one. Obviously we spooked him. 51 to 63 kilo. I would like to think that's gotta be a at least pretty big snow leopard. Now with his wind, and again, heightened senses on these things, I don't think run tracking is even worth it. Most species I would. I think we're just gonna have to go slow and maybe try to spot him in the distance. Man, we crouched after him all that time, and he's still gonna flee? I hear him. Just went through right there. It's like impossible to get eyes on him. Or did a fox go through there? I think that might have been what happened. Finally. And it's only because he's coming back this way we got eyes on him. He's a level 7, kind of trotting down at us. This is a good gun to have for situations like this. Boy, did that take forever, and I had to resort to running after him. Just nothing else was working. What a beautiful coat. Is caramel fur type. Level 7 snow leopard. He's 61 kilo. Diamond's 29, but he's pretty much at the top end of that. They must get to like 75 then. That is cool. 2.6 kilometer tracking distance. I don't think this is going to maybe translate really well through a video. In live streams, I think it will. These mountains are different. You have to really be in them for a significant amount of time to be able to appreciate it, but they're so big. The mountaintops, areas like this, not so bad. When you get down into like the thick stuff though, it's so steep, it's so brushy. It's a real challenge to hunt. Now I can imagine like over there being a little bit better, but chasing that blue sheep and chasing that snow leopard around, we don't have mountains on any other map that rival these. These feel like genuine, real-life mountains. It is a struggle to move through them and hunt them effectively. And you saw there, like, the only reason we found that snow leopard is because he ran back at us, because we ended up at the edge of the map. Otherwise, who knows how long we'd have been chasing him. Oh, that's a big-looking yak. That's a mythical up to 1,200 kilo. We reset back to morning because, to be honest, it had gotten a little bit late chasing that snow leopard. And fortunately, oh, there's another mythical. Those horns are enormous. He's up to 269. He's up to 272. That's a 7 up to 257. But anyway, fortunately, this happens to be their drink time. I think we're seeing at least 3 different variations there. So I think we're going to try to get probably the 2 mythicals. I wonder at that distance, if we go 300 AR, there's more down there. There's another max estimate 7. Oh, no way. Forget about all the other ones. Level 9, wild yak, down here at a drink zone. That's insane. There's so many high level ones. They're kind of like Cape Buffalo in that way, where you see a lot of 7s, 8s, and 9s. Just what we're seeing at this first lake. Kind of getting the impression that might be what to expect. That's really encouraging though. This guy's estimate, minimum, is what that mythical was at the max. I mean, he looks huge. That's insane. Like, comparing them to any of the other ones. Little horns on some of these. That 7's starting over here. So we want to kind of scoot over and try to get the 9's attention. 7's alert. There's our 9. Okay, it's actually kind of walking broadside. And I wonder what's going to happen too. These things supposedly are going to be aggressive. So when we take this shot, we'll see what's coming over here. So he's stopping there. That should get him. See if we see his health going down. Boy, they must be tanks. It is going down, not as fast as I would have expected. I gotta think that's gonna be a vital, because a woolly hair there. And we do have an aggressive level 2 yak. I think she's the only one. So let's see actually how this goes. I'm gonna let her kind of charge at us for a minute, because she's probably going to where we shot from. And now I just want to see like how quick they are, because I feel like they're faster than capes and water buffalo. Maybe a bit. They really do soak up bullets too. Like, that typically drops things like water buffalo, cape buffalo, 2 quick vital hits from the 300. She ran a bit there. Now the second shot was liver, maybe that's the difference. Dark red brown. That's a cool fur variant. Anyway, let's see. Oh my goodness. 273.23 is diamond. That is so close to being a guaranteed diamond. It is probably going to be the last kill of this hunt. Do we have our first diamond on Nepal? It's vital blood, so we hit him just fine. Just the insane tankiness of these things. That's what had him running off so far and going as far as he did. Before the health started to drop, got a medium bleed rate, got a dead yak. Look at the size of the horns on that guy. Man, they looked big from a distance, but when you get up close, the mass on those, that big hook at the end, they look really cool. It's not completely guaranteed, but it's pretty darn close. Let's see. No way. Dang it, man. 273.21. There was a Jet Brown. What a cool name. There was a reason I said it's not guaranteed completely. I don't even know what words I used. Wow. 0.02 away. What a huge looking animal though. There's so much that goes into it. Horn length, tip to tip spread, overall spread, and all those circumferences. He's a little bit uneven. I don't know if you can see it real well. Like this horn, I think maybe curls in a little bit more. If it didn't, we'd have had it. Dang, we're definitely gonna tax him. And I guess, even though we end with a little bit of heartbreak, it's time to go back to the trophy lodge and take a look at all the new animals. And just setting this up, we're here in the lodge, 273.22. It shows there in the Harvest Manager. It was so close. I can't believe he ultimately trolled, but we've got everything set up here in the Grind Lodge, and I just wanted to go through and take a look at everything at, you know, a close-up kind of angle and look at all the detail. And I realized I forgot to even tax a tiger, so we'll have to do that in one of our future hunts, but I really do like the yaks. Unfortunate that that one trolled us. Hopefully we can find another one, but a level 9 at our first lake among all those mythicals and 7s, and he just falls shy. We do have, though, our first big blue sheep there. They look awesome. I like them a lot. The fact that that's a good bit shy of diamond, I can't wait to get our first one. They're definitely one of my absolute favorites. So unique with sheep horns like that. Got our muntjac here. You can see those little fangs sticking out. Decent little antlers. I think he was 2 shy of diamond. Our mythical Tibetan fox, just with like that cunning expression on his face. They are such cool little creatures. But look at this. This is a multi-mount. We'll even go into the multi-mount section so you can see it is called Ghost of the Mountain. It's a male snow leopard and a male blue sheep. We've got that yellow variant that we killed, and just look at the detail as this snow leopard lunges at him. He's got like his paw wrapped around the neck, going for the jugular. You see the other paw down here, and it's like midway through taking it down. Already a couple of my favorite species. The blue sheep, when we saw those huge horns, they moved way up my list, and obviously the snow leopards being so elusive. I love them. We're gonna have probably multiple of this multi-mount, maybe between our couple of lodges, because it looks amazing. And then finally, we've got our black buck with a new variant that we taxed here today, and we've got the nilgai. And that was about 5 hours of hunting, and there's so much of the map still to explore. The fact that, you know, we spent so much time in the mountains, I already had forgotten about, you know, some of the cool things we got early on. Nilgai are going to be another one of my favorites, and the map, it just feels so big and so expansive. You get up there and spend hours hunting for blue sheep and tahr and yak, and you forget about the nilgai and barasingha and tiger down below. They are insane. So real quick, I do want to jump back to our other trophy lodge, because I wanted to get a look at the remastered water buffalo here on the wall. Here's our 173.7. It's night and day how much better they are. But the real reason we came in here is not for the common. Oh my, it is for the albino. Look at that. Wow, like look at the little detail on the nose. You can see like the white fur inside the ears, kind of bluish pink eyes. Man, are they cool. And instead of being that kind of pinkish color, they're more of a white. You can see that there's actual fur there too, because the thing about it is, if they didn't have any fur, that pinkish color would be correct. But having the fur there, more of a white, maybe like undertone pink color, I think that does make a little more sense. They look so, so good. So there are a couple of multi-mounts that we don't have set up right now. Quickly, we're going to go through those. So we've got one down here that would be what in Tahr Nation is 1 male tahr and 2 female tahr. Now you can only imagine what we might want to do with that 1 male tahr, but I love this idea. Even a diamond tahr, but in theory, one day a great one tahr. With its couple of females there, I think that's a fantastic idea for a multi-mount. I really want to see what kind of variations there are for the female tahr too, but I think that might even be a reason to shoot some female tahr on the grinds, see if some rares show up. And then finally, of course, tiger takeout, a tiger taking down a barasingha. That one we'll set up in the future, but that's going to be a really cool one. I already know it goes on the extra large platforms. And finally, as promised, we're heading to Hirschfelden real quick to check out how the sight works on the new gun. And essentially, what it comes down to is this. When zeroed for 250, are we still going to hit accurately without the flip-up sight? That's a little high. That's a little better, but it's in there still. That's not too bad. So evidently, you still can shoot quite well without the flip-up sight. So with it, Well, that was a 10 ring right away, so that's encouraging. It does feel a little more accurate. It might zoom just a touch more. There's another 10 ring there. And that's right on the edge of it. I think the flip up sight does help, but if you get in that situation where you gotta make a quick shot, quickly zero, and you don't have the flip up sight activated, you definitely can do it, but I would say it's a little tougher to hit exactly where you're aiming. So that's pretty cool. I like this gun a lot. I'm hoping to use it more in the future, and I know this had to be a long video as is, so I won't ramble too much here. We're gonna be back though with a live stream very, very soon. I can't wait to get back on the map. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. All the species we saw today, the new gun, the map itself. Looking forward to hearing all your feedback in the comments below. I think on that note, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for joining me on our first hunt on Sundarpatan, and I'll see you next time.